All right, up next is Pioneer SX9. Yeah, it's a 950. So as you can see, this has led a pretty rough life, right? Pretty dirty. So here's what's going on with this one, and I'm going to kind of work on the cosmetic stuff today. I don't have a lot of time to jump into the electronic issues with this. So here's what's going on. Turn it on. Lots of transistor noise on the right channel, so we have some failing transistors. I'm sure this is full of bad transistors and probably some out of spec capacitors as well. So eventually I'll get to that, and I'll talk about the electronics. It also goes into protection if you mess with the base pot, but that's on the dim bulb tester. So that could just be a dirty pot that causes that static. Could cause it to go into protection because you're limiting current, and it could kind of starve, right, the receiver of the power that it needs, right, to come out of protection. So what I'm going to be doing this morning is I'm going to try to position the camera where you can see me. I'm going to start with a faceplate, clean this up. I'll remove the knobs eventually. I'm going to kind of just do a base clean right now. And then what I'll do is I'll move the camera up top and then kind of work on the cabinet. So this is all about cosmetics today, because that's about all the time that I have. So let me kind of position things and get to a spot where I can start cleaning this up. So here's the issue. Those little blotches that you see on there, it's some kind of like residue from something. So I'm not sure what that is, but it is not coming off the face. So I need to try something a little bit stronger. I was just using a Clorox wipe. I'm going to try some simple green to see if it'll cut that. But this actually may be etched, like permanently stained. I don't know if I can pull this stuff off. I may have to just let it soak, and I really don't like to do that, but yeah, it's not coming off. This stuff is not... Oh my gosh, it's like permanently stained. Oh, that's not good. That is not good at all. Not good at all. Wow. Yep, well, poop. That is not promising at all. So I think I'm going to work on this for a little bit and see if I can maybe clean some of it up, but it may just be permanently scarred, which is not good. This is not mine. This was a shop purchase, a 402 vinyl purchase. Dang, that sucks. That really sucks if I can't get this cleaned up. But you live and you learn. You know, when you see stuff like this, normally it just comes right off, but I don't think this stuff is going to come off. It's, that one came off a little bit, but like this one, you can feel where it's kind of like etched into the metal. Wow. All right, well, I'm going to work on this and see if I can get something going on it. Yeah, that stuff's not coming off at all. So, I mean, a new faceplate is the only thing that can be done to get this to look somewhat decent. Wow, that really blows. I think I may pull this off though and just let it soak and see what happens. But I mean, I can't kind of scrape it off. I used a couple of different cleaning solvents. it almost looks like a lacquer. I mean, because here on this knob, not sure if this is going to be clear or not. Let's see if I can show you. Come on, can you get it clear? Nah, it looks like it's not gonna. But it's real hard. I can't peel that off. So I'm not sure that just soaking this in, Dawn is going to do anything. I tried Simple Green. I tried Goof Off. I tried all sorts of things like that. So that's just not good. I mean, it's not coming off. So that stinks. I mean, it looks good for a second while it's wet, and then the moment it dries, it's no longer good. So yeah, it's not. This isn't touching that. Well, it's in some areas it feels like it's raised, and in other areas it feels like it's recessed. Like this is recessed here, this is recessed here, and notice how nothing's really coming up. I know you probably can't see that, but it's really not coming up. So poop. All right, I got to come up with something. See if I can solve this problem somehow. I'll have to come back and let you know what I did if I could figure something out at all. Stay tuned. I think I have something to try on the faceplate. So while it's soaking, I want to work on the cabinet. Just got a piece of wood stuck in my thumb. Yeah, first I want to show you, somebody put like a label. You probably can't really see it here, but they put a label on the side here. I don't know why this thing doesn't want to focus now. I must have turned it off. Oh well. Well, there's a label there and I had to kind of scrape it off. Man, this thing is just a basket case. Just a basket case. So I'm going to hit this with some Restore Finish and see if I can clean the cabinet up a little bit. I mean, this doesn't really cost anything because I'm really not sure what to do. I mean, I can repair, knock on wood, I believe I can repair the receiver. Oh, I missed that. It's like some glue or something. Gosh, doesn't it make you wonder what people do with these things? But I'm hoping that electronically I can sort out what's going on with this. But lately, a lot of these projects have been kind of kicking my butt. So it's just the cosmetic issues with this, and then how much do you spend? You know, if you get into this for $600 and they're only worth $600, you don't put another $400 into it to try to sell it for $600, because then you end up losing $400. Do you just lose $200 now and sell it as is? Do you put a couple $100 in it to get it working, and then you lose a little bit? It's just one. It's just one of those dilemmas. Like, what do you do? So anyway, hopefully what I'm thinking might work on the face will work on the areas where it's not etched, but we'll just have to see. Oh, you can't even tell that sticker's there now once I hit it with the Restore Finish. Real exciting. And then what I'll do is when I come back this afternoon, I will hit this with some feed wax. This still has the Pioneer sticker on this side, and I'm not even going to mess with it. It's been covered over with probably something like Restore Finish or Danish oil. So I'm not going to mess with removing this one. Plus it's the original sticker. And somebody's rubbed half the lettering off of it. Alright, so this is received. The Restore Finish treatment. I gotta make sure I get all these little pieces of steel wool off of that. Alright, so this has been hit with Restore Finish. I try to remove that little glue there. See if I can pop that off. Hoping I have the timer going off to help me keep my day organized. Yeah, that popped right off there. All right. So that means I can no longer work on stuff and I need to go start my day. So we'll see how this looks this afternoon. I may hit it again with some Restore Finish. I don't know. If I do, I won't do that until tomorrow. But now I'm going to go check out that face because I got about 10 minutes to mess around with that. And then I will pick it back up and let you know what I found out. Well, I think I found a solution. It was not the solution I was going to try because that one did not work. So what I thought might work would be, and I'm talking about the faceplate. What I thought might work was a magic eraser. Maybe soak it for a little bit, use magic eraser, and it would pull this gunk off. But the magic eraser wouldn't touch it. But if we look at the faceplate, you can kind of see where I've done it and where I haven't. As I was working this with magic eraser, this is like a lacquer or something like lacquer or clear coat or something. So what I did is I took some acetone, which is not recommended. I first kind of tested it on the lettering here to see if it would pull that off, and it didn't, right? So I started with a Q-tip, and then I thought this is going to take forever. And, you know, I trusted that this test was a good predictor on whether or not it would pull up any of this lettering, and it did not. So I'm able to actually go through with rubber glove, acetone, and I go from like one knob to the next, right? Because that stuff stinks. So, and I'll do a little bit over the course of several days. So, I'll do this little section. Now I'm gonna test up here too, because this is a different, it's probably the same material, but it's a little bit shinier. So again, I want to test to make sure it's not going to pull it off there. And if I just had to do this little strip here with acetone. Now this is plastic. So this plastic portion, I'm pretty sure it's plastic. This plastic portion I won't use it on because it will damage that. But here, it doesn't seem to stick as well. So I may be able to just brush that off or something. But I wanted to show you that. And I'm not going to film me going through and wiping this down with acetone over several sessions. I mean, you get the point of what I'm doing here. So anyway, that's very promising. That's good news. It's good news for this receiver. So it may not be as much of a lost cause as I thought, but I mean, this thing was just trash. Look at all that. So the cosmetic cleanup on this is going to take a long time. Again, over the course of probably a week or maybe even more to just make sure I get all this stuff cleaned up. And so far, the cabinet looking better, right? Looking much better than it was. And, luckily this is not vinyl. It's actual wood veneer. So anyway, I will check back in once the faceplate is done. Once this has been treated with some feed and wax, what I may do is just kind of I'll put it together real quick and then shoot kind of the cosmetic after. And then we'll dive into the electronics later on. All right, so here's the 950 cleaned up. And I want to explain to you what I've been doing the last week. So all that stuff that was on the face is some kind of clear coat. And lacquer or varnish or something like that got all over this. But it was just rock hard. And the only way I could get it off was to use acetone. Now, acetone, using it on the faceplate of a receiver is something I would not encourage anyone to do. You could very easily remove all the stenciling. You could damage the whatever finish might be over the metal if they have a clear coat, on there. But it was the only way that I could get the stuff off, and I couldn't even get it off completely. See if I can. I'm going to try to show you. Maybe this is a better angle. I don't know if I can zoom in and, sorry, using a new camera. Trying to see if you can still see some of the splatter. So you see, you can still see some spots, but this is 90% better than the way it was. But these spots will not move. They won't budge unless I take some acetone and basically wipe them down. So what I did was I tested a small spot on the receiver. There's some lettering behind the volume control. And I basically took some acetone to see if that lettering would come off, and it wouldn't. So then I very, very carefully wiped the entire face down, but I had to scrub. I had to scrub with the acetone on just, some shop, those blue shop paper towels to get that stuff to come off. I still haven't done the top. I haven't done the very bottom. I did not do the faces of the knobs, so I need to do those. There's some gunk on some of the dip switch covers as well, but it looks much, 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 much better. I was able to function test it, and I did some spray and pray with some contact cleaner. There is some scratchiness on the base pot. There's some scratchiness in the volume control. There was some scratchiness, I think, in the tone control. But to clean the controls on this, you have to disassemble it. And so naturally, I won't be doing that until I actually go in to replace the problem transistors. This also has an issue with noisy, problematic transistors that I'm going to address. All the lamps, I think, work. I haven't even tested them. So, yeah, all of the function lamps work. Oh, that's weird. Those were just working now. This auxiliary button is stuck. There it goes. So I'll have to, but again, I haven't really cleaned any of these. So there's some gunk sticking on the auxiliary button that I'll need to figure out. But all of these lamps work. Stereo light works. You saw it illuminated there. So there is hope for this yet. I also did the cabinet. So I'm going to try to move the camera. I'm going to apologize for any shaky cam as a result. But you can see there is the cabinet. So the cabinet's turned out pretty nice. A couple of spots I need to tack the veneer back down with some super glue or some wood glue. One spot on the right side, but I'll get to that. But this thing looks much, much, much better than it did when I initially threw it on the bench and started working on it. So this is going to wrap it up for part one, which is basically an introduction or an evaluation of the receiver plus the cosmetic cleanup. I need to order some filter caps for this. I think I'm going to do a complete recap on it. I think that's what I'm going to do, but I don't know for sure yet. So anyway, stay tuned for part two to see where I go with this thing. And as always, if you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.